Hello, and welcome to Mr. Johnson's Time Machine. I'm your host, Rory McBain, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host and the inventor of Mr. Johnson's Time Machine, Mr. J. John Johnson.
Thank you, Rory. I got to say, 9 episodes in, it's not any easier to hear you refer to it as a time machine.
All right, well, we are 9/10 of the way through, so we're almost there. If we're rounding up, we're done, but we don't round up in podcasts, of course. And before we start today, I'd just like to give a little disclaimer that
why are you doing another disclaimer? This is like the third disclaimer in 9 episodes.
Okay.
And besides, when
fine.
you wrote the intro, I had to read it because you couldn't show up for work.
But yeah, that was a medical emergency.
This is a medical emergency.
I will read today's intro. Today's episode is sponsored by the Institute for Corporate Growth and its affiliated charities in conjunction with McKinsey Consulting and the government of Malta and, of course, Mr. Johnson Industries. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Rory.
To all of
that was beautiful.
What a group that is there.
It really is. That's a lot of hard work.
I don't even know
goes
what
into
those charities for corporate growth. I don't know that you can. It doesn't matter.
Corporations are people, so you can have a charity for any type of person.
Here we go. The number of human contributions to the world is nearly endless, from the harnessing of fire by the cavemen to the harnessing of the atom by Oppenheimer. And while the debate over man's greatest enhancements of the earth will rage on forever, today we are here to make the case that the greatest invention ever to come out of the mind of man is money, and the natural human pursuit to make as much of it as possible.
Yeah. Anything money can't buy, I don't want.
All right, I'll go on. Think about it, folks. Without capitalism, a.k.a. the science of money, I don't think it is, we wouldn't...
it's definitely a science.
Okay, well, we wouldn't have most of the conveniences of the modern world, perhaps. Things like mortgages, advertising, and the many ingenious uses of crude oil wouldn't even exist if man's natural thirst for riches hadn't been nurtured and cultivated to its current state.
Just like the mouse would never make it to the end of the maze without the piece of cheese that's waiting for him.
So let's just sit back and salute the entrepreneurs and robber barons who paved the way for today's private equity funds and venture capitalists. And let's not forget the battles they had to wage against government regulations and woke mobs, not to mention the entire labor movement, which still lurks in the shadows today. Titans of industry past, present, and future, we salute your sacrifices. Okay, this seems like an appropriate time for a commercial.
That was really beautiful.
I think
we need to put some Sousa under that when we play it. I think that's what we'll do.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go to a commercial.
So loud you can't hear it, perhaps. Has an unsightly goiter turned you into a depressed homebody who puts on a scarf just to pick up their DoorDash from the porch? Well, then glam up that growth with Mr. Johnson's Goiter Glitter and get back out into the world. Your goiter will be the talk of the town and the envy of high school girls everywhere when it's sparkling with Mr. Johnson's Goiter Glitter. Just apply liberally to your goiter and be damned fabulous. Mr. Johnson's Goiter Glitter contains no insect parts like other growth cosmetics, so pour it on and go from freak to fashionista. Mr. Johnson's Goiter Glitter is available at your local post office. Not available in Rhode Island.
Mr. Johnson's Family Products.
Welcome back, listeners. Technology has driven business since the dawn of man, and perhaps no single machine has advanced humanity as much as the printing press. Invented by Johannes Gutenberg sometime around 1450, the movable type printing press exponentially increased the amount of books available in Europe. While Gutenberg is most closely associated with the first printed version of the Bible, that wasn't published until 1454. So the printer was likely producing more commercial work in order to raise the funds to produce the enormous undertaking of the Bible. So let's go now to 1450.
Yeah.
In Germany, we are taking you, of course, to Mainz, Germany.
I'm not sure that's how it's pronounced,
Well,
but I think I get the idea.
Mainz. I believe Mainz.
I don't think you saying it repeatedly helps me find it any quicker.
I just think most German words. Oh, you've already been given the coordinates to go to.
This is
I'm
such
not
a
saying it
huge
for
moment
you.
in history, and you've ruined it.
Look at this, Schmidt. I took words and I put them on the paper without me written. I printed this.
The printing, yeah, the
Yes.
printer, yeah, the
Ink
printer presser.
on the paper.
Ah,
Huh? What do you think?
ausgezeichnet, excellent. What is this? I don't know what this word
Well,
is.
this is the Bible. Look.
Oh, the
In
Bible,
the beginning, there
okay.
was the Word, and the Word was good.
Literally bring a book to this book. It's the Bible. It's a board.
The book. If we're going to print, we print the book.
You're going to lose a fortune. No one wants to read the Bible. You go to church and hear it for free every day. Here's what you do. We can make it the Bible. We
Yes.
make the Bible, but we put in the pictures.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking something with the porno. And then we just use a bit of the Bible for the caption.
Hold on. Wait. Hold the horses need to be held.
It starts with the man is delivering the food to the lady's house.
Yeah.
And the Frau has no money to pay the man for the food.
Oh, this is quite interesting.
And then the man takes out his penis and he says, you pay me.
Already?
Lady.
The penis is out.
Dirty lady. Well,
Immediately.
this is page 3 or 4. I mean,
Okay.
The story is
That-
got to move pretty quick. You turn the page and then the lady is enjoying the penis and the man is enjoying the lady's privy part. Then they go on the bed. That's the first bit. And then they go.
I love this
They
idea.
go in the kitchen. They do it a little in there. They do a from behind a bit, and then they do the other
This
part
is
with the lady on the
quite
top, and then they have the man on the top too, and they wrap it up.
Oh, there's a wrap up,
Yes,
please.
they wrap it up. The last bit at the end of the book is the man. He has this orgasm with the lady, and I guess she eats, I suppose, after that. But we don't gotta waste any pages on that part.
This is quite a turn from
And,
the Bible.
It's confirmation of a more commercial pursuit.
Yeah, boy, I'll say. Not only that, once again.
Oh, I know what you're gonna
man,
say.
It gets nice.
Well,
doesn't it?
I mean, in perfect German fashion,
He's not impressed by the printing at all.
Gutenberg was known to work with a very famous engraver who ended up being a printmaker named, this is pretty good here, the Master of Playing Cards.
That was the guy's
That was
title?
what they called the guy.
Holy
he was an
smokes,
artist
that
known as
must
the,
be this guy.
maybe
Because
the-
he's talking about adding these pictures, and perhaps was his name Schmidt? What
they
was his
don't
name?
they don't know what his name
Oh,
is.
man.
Oh my goodness.
Holy shit, we know his name now.
Schmidt.
Schmidt.
We could have solved the identity of the Master of Playing Cards. Now, again, there are 42 known existing copies of the Gutenberg printed Bible.
Wow. How many of them have the
I don't believe
dirty
any of them-
lady?
I don't think the dirty lady is in any of them, actually.
Is
at
that
this
how
point.
you really imitate that guy saying dirty lady?
Dirty lady.
That's better.
Okay,
Rory.
all right.
Come on, we're having fun today. We're
I
talking
guess
about
so.
money
well,
and
there's
business.
nothing funnier than the Germans, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know if there's ever been a pornographic version of the Bible. I'm sure that's a sin.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to get firebombed now that we've said this, but
Well, we learned something there, folks. We may have done our first unveiling of a unknown character,
where are we going next?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, the brilliant, sharp business mind that he was. Personally, a hero of mine.
Steve Jobs.
Yes, without a doubt. A
So-
good family man, a good boss, a good friend.
Well, part of him was a bit of an enigma as well. Regardless, what we know about him is that he started the Apple Corporation along with his friend Steve Wozniak in 1976 in Steve Jobs' parents' garage. The relationship between the two men actually went further back than that 1976 starting of the Apple Corporation.
Must have gone pretty well, or else they wouldn't have still been going in 76.
Years earlier, Jobs used Wozniak's work to get hired by Atari.
Smart.
And, yeah,
good
well,
move. Want to
years
work at a
later-
place like Atari. That's a good
Yeah,
move.
but he was using Wozniak's work.
Thanks, pal.
And years later, Jobs hired Wozniak to do $5,000 worth of work for Atari.
Shit, yeah, you got to reach back down and bring a friend up. Of course.
He told him that the thing paid $750 total, and he only gave him $375.
Well, he
kept
took the tax out for him then, I guess.
Well, that's like a 82% tax.
Yeah, that sucks. That's a bad tax. Was that California? I bet it was.
It's clear the Apple Corporation was started by a genius and Steve Jobs. Okay? But Jobs was a
Whoa.
capitalist, and as we all know, ambition
Whoa.
trumps intellect every time. So why don't we go? You know, I gave you the address, the garage,
I know where
in
we're going.
Steve Jobs' parents'
I know
home.
where we're going. I've been there.
Oh, you've been to the garage.
You've never gone? I did the tour.
There's a tour of the garage.
Not really. I mean, you got to talk to the people that live there now, but they'll let you walk. They
yeah, I
let
would
me walk
assume
around
his
the
parents
garage.
don't live there anymore.
I left them free samples of several of the Mr. Johnson family of products, and they were thrilled.
Well, I'm sure it was worth the price of admission.
Oh
to
my
see.
God, it was really something to be in that room.
Okay, well, we're going to that room where the Apple I, the computer that started it all, was being created by Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs.
You could say Jobs and Wozniak. At least then it's alphabetical.
Woz, we need the computer.
Steve, I'm working on it.
Yeah, you've been working on it for a couple months now. I need it now. I need it like...
I'm programming, I'm thinking, I'm innovating as fast as technology will allow.
Can you think a little faster?
It's not reasonable, Steve.
I don't want to hear reasonable until you have this computer done.
Okay, sure. I'll make you a sloppy computer, and I can have it done by yesterday. How about that, Steve? Yes.
Who is it? Yes.
Hi, Steve. I need to speak with you. I'm sorry. I know you're in the midst of something.
I've told you never bother me at work. Do you know how busy?
You are so insensitive.
Hang on.
No, I can't. I can't hang on. I'm
Okay,
pregnant.
what is
I'm
it?
pregnant.
Who's the baby father? Who's the baby's father? It's not me.
You. Of course it's you. We've been sleeping together for months. I'm sorry, other Steve.
It's okay. I mean, I
Well-
could have done it.
I thought you had told me that you had your tubes tied.
I said that I took birth control, and you made an illogical jump.
That's not illogical. That's one form
I
of
know
birth
I'm
control.
pregnant, and I know it's yours. It's
I
absolutely
pulled out
yours.
many times. I used the rhythm method in addition. It was a messy bed after.
Well, some of it must have gotten inside of me.
That's your fault then.
No, it's
For
not.
take care of your house, I'll take care of mine.
I
Do you
do
understand?
take care of my house, and I let you inside my house so many times, and you were a rude guest. And now there's a miniature house growing inside the house.
The mortgage for the miniature house inside your body is not going to be paid by Steve Jobs.
It's going to be paid by Steve Jobs, and if I have to go public, I will. And you heard this.
No one
other
will
Steve.
believe that I had sex with a
Well,
woman.
you might be right about that. I'll have to cross that bridge when I get there.
You go away now, and I've got some tubes over here and a computer that need to get untied because this guy is wasting my time dilly-dallying.
I'm so good at making computers good. So Steve can say things, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily the truth.
Whatever I say is fucking true. You guys understand that? It's my company. So if I say the fucking moon is blue, I want to hear, yes, it is, Steve. Yes, it is.
I'm trying, Steve. Here we go. I thought of something when you were talking about tubes earlier. If we take a tube and just skip over the DOS hurdles, we can have this computer ready by tomorrow.
Talk to me like I don't know anything about computers.
This computer be right soon.
Thank you.
Damn, that guy's ice cold, huh?
Jeez.
I mean that is, you got to admire a guy who can be that
I don't know about
focused.
admire. Looks like it got a little too nice that time, huh?
It gets nice, baby.
No, but-
brains attract ladies. That's
Anyway,
I should know.
There was a great insight into the relationship between the two Steves.
Oh, this
And-
Wozniak guy. He sounds like a pain in the ass, doesn't he?
Well,
I
he
mean,
was a genius. The guy's creating
Oh,
computers on the fly
he's
there.
a mousy little freak, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's if you ask me, he's the brains of the operation.
Well, take a set of brains and put them in a bucket and see what good they do you.
Is that another one of your sayings that you're trying to make a saying?
Yeah, or maybe you didn't get it.
Well, it seems like, you would know better than I, but it is pretty much a brutal world out there in the business world.
Yeah,
and
it's dog eat dog.
dog eat dog, shark eat well, sharks don't eat
Shark
sharks.
eat shark.
But the sharks swim. Well,
you
they
think
say-
a shark won't eat a shark if there's nothing else to eat? Come on. What's he going to do?
I know killer
Shark-
whales have been eating sharks.
Yeah,
Just
I saw
not to
that.
get too topical,
It's about damn time.
Let's just move on, and let's just simply say that was Steve Jobs, and no one was surprised.
Well, I was a little surprised at how well he handled all the pressure that was coming at him at the time.
Okay, well, why don't we move from a great man, whether it's Wozniak or Jobs, to great men, I suppose. Few spaces evoke the word corporation more than the boardroom, where executives meet to make the big decisions. Now, while the word's origin can be traced to 1732, I happen to think for many people the image of a boardroom is firmly planted in the early 60s, when America's post-war boom was flourishing and great companies were just finding their
What
stride.
a great time to be alive.
I suppose it was the age of the 3-martini lunch and having an affair with your secretary.
I guess I'm a time traveler after all.
Let's just peek into the corporate boardroom during the Mad Men age.
What is that?
I'm sorry. I think we're going for the kind of mid to late 60s. Let's go
Oh.
1967. You want to go Madison Avenue, New York?
I like it.
Okay.
Perhaps it is time that we market the idea that breast milk from the mother is not as healthy as what Nestle has to offer.
What does a mom's breast milk not have in it, right?
Huh?
Caffeine.
There's no.
I think we could throw caffeine into the
not?
baby formula. Keep the babies up.
We should go into perhaps selling some kind of an instant coffee or the like as well for the nannies
Yeah.
to keep everyone up round the clock.
There you go.
Mr. Prescott,
Yes. I was having dinner last night with my lovely wife, and as I was scraping off the scrapes into the dog bowl, I thought, this is nutrition.
We already sell dog food, and then we could say, hey, take the extra dog food you don't use, put it in your baby's mouth too.
Okay, well, all right.
Let me bring up a sore subject.
Reginald?
Now, we didn't do great on our rat poison last year, so we have a lot of extra supplies. And let me throw this out here. Don't say no right away. What if we use that extra rat poison and threw it right in the baby formula?
Someone's going to eat that, so
Yeah.
might as well
Well,
be the
you
babies.
couldn't put in so much that it would kill the babies.
No,
No,
of course
no.
not. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Actually, yes.
What happened? It
I'll
just cut out.
tell you what happened. Why are you digging so hard? Why are you trying so hard
What?
to show the shitty side of corporations?
I don't
Why-
know that I was doing anything. That was like the Nestle
I
Corporation.
think that was
a big
wildly
company.
it's wildly inappropriate. You break their anonymity, one.
He said
and
it at
two,
the beginning,
That's
I
what I'm
thought.
saying. And then you go in and listen to it. And then two, you invade their privacy.
Right. You don't have to take the side of the. You know what I noticed? There was, in a conversation about breast milk, it was clearly absent some female voices there. Why don't we do something more contemporary?
Well,
You
yeah,
choose.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
do
What are we
something now.
supposed? What are we supposed to do?
Find
Go
a
back and
business
put
area.
women in that boardroom? We can't do anything about that. We can
no,
just,
I'm sure
today
that-
things are different,
Yes.
Rory.
Well, then go to a
If you
business
go to one of
area.
my- oh,
go to
you
the
know what?
go to the
Great
Hancock
idea.
building or the Willis Tower.
Wonderful
or
idea.
the
That's what we'll do.
Sears Tower.
We'll go to the Hancock building.
There you go.
Chicago,
Illinois.
What do we want? Last week? Last
Sure.
Tuesday?
There you go.
Let's go
Into
for
a
11
corporate
a.m.
boardroom.
11 a.m.
That seems like when they'd have a board meeting. All right, so you can choose your own board meeting.
You can wiggle out of that all you like.
History is history.
Yeah.
That might be my next part.
Oh man, I got chills.
Hey, everybody, I apologize for being late. We have a couple of things to get addressed here really quickly, so I appreciate you meeting. Let's bring the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is we just need some kind of a better system in order to get our products into the hands of the people.
I actually had a thought about partnering with one of our suppliers who has those stacks that allow us to disseminate our products faster and further reaching than
It's
previously.
an interesting idea. It's interesting, but I don't know. That almost seems like an extra
Yeah, it seems
step.
like a bit much. I was thinking perhaps we could partner. It's a thing. Disseminate some stacks and just sort of roll it that way, and it'll just
you mean like
increase everything.
kind of pass some of the
Yes,
responsibility to another company, so it's
absolutely.
not solely on their
Mhm,
shoulders.
Yes.
That's a very interesting
Yep.
approach.
I
Yeah.
like it.
I'm sorry, didn't Jody just say that?
Maybe it was similar. I don't think so.
What Peter was saying, I think, was on point, which is saying let's make sure that they take on both the financial and.
I'm
the
sorry,
physical
maybe I
aspect of it.
misheard. I thought that she
That's
just
okay.
was
Yeah,
just
I do have one other topic that's kind of pressing right now. We're looking for a way to get more employees to come back to work post-COVID. As you know, a lot of people are reluctant. We are the small and mighty here, but any enticements that you can think of?
I was thinking the exact same thing. First of all, if we could bring in a daycare so that people could have a bit of relief in terms of watching their children, and that would
That's
be
an
just
interesting
so
idea,
helpful.
Sandy. Yeah, I can see that, but that is a little bit outside the box of what we normally would do, but
Yeah,
I
okay.
appreciate that idea.
Perhaps the burden of childcare could be lifted from these folks if we just had some sort of available system and service here. They'll be
Well, that's
less
interesting.
stressed,
Maybe if we
more
bring
productive.
back childcare, like you're
Yes,
saying, that we would get, then we would actually have people
I
here to help with
literally just
childcare.
said
She
So
literally just said that.
Oh fuck! Come
well,
on,
well,
Rory.
well.
No, look. This is clearly this. You have an agenda here.
No.
No, you hated the idea of this episode from the beginning, and I did your stupid pyramids one, and even went along with it to try to pretend like it meant something to me scientifically.
The pyramids you're complaining
You
about.
are such a fucking puke. You know that?
All right, look. We don't just let's go back. You chose
This
it.
is a fucking,
Chicago.
This is a
Avoid-
hatchet job. That's
It is
exactly
not.
what this is.
This is what companies are. Let's hear the rest. Who knows? Maybe the women prevail.
All right, fine. You want to go back in
Yeah.
there? Yeah, okay, fine. We'll go back in there then.
We're taking you back near contemporary times. The Hancock Building in Chicago, iconic. There's a cheesecake factory downstairs. I believe.
now I want to talk real quickly about, we've got a big holiday party coming up. Last year we had the stand-up comedian and the dueling pianos. This year I'm hoping to have something a little bit unorthodox, a little outside the box.
I think I have a great idea this year. I wanted to get a tarot card reader to come in and do fortune telling because people are so concerned about their futures.
But I want to make sure that it's inclusive. I don't want people to feel like I'm just pressing your religion on them. So if there's an idea a little bit outside of
Absolutely. Thank you. I think if we did something along the lines of tarot card.
Tarot card
get
reading?
everybody a little reading. You tell them about their
I've
sign.
always
What is
wanted to
going
know
on? I
what
just said that. I said the words tarot card, and you said it was outside.
I thought
and
you
it
were
could-
talking about like chips, like the tarot chips.
No, I said tarot
What he's
cards.
saying, I don't think you understand. You would pull out tarot cards. They would read what your future is or answer questions based on these cards. And I think that's a great idea. Do you disagree? Peter, I like to see you yes-anding in this way. I think,
Thank you.
you know, because ideas aren't always embraced, are they, Amanda?
They're not.
It is frustrating. I feel the same way.
I have one last idea.
Okay.
Why don't you take a step back?
I don't know. That seems like a weird idea. Peter, what do you think about this idea?
Well, I
Lee?
think if you're so worried and you're so burdened, maybe a step back would be something that would be positive for the
You know
company
what?
and would help everybody.
Maybe you're right, Peter. Maybe it's time for me to step down and give you an opportunity to take charge of this company. in the
Wait,
way
no,
that
I
it's
wasn't.
I
talking
would
about
love
Peter
it so much.
taking
But
over.
maybe that's what we should do. We'll swap for the length of time it takes for one of you ladies to bring a baby to term.
None of us is
are
pregnant.
One last point. What if you step aside, sir, and Peter steps aside?
I don't know, Sandy. I don't want you to take this personally, but I don't think that idea is very well thought out.
I've been thinking, so I didn't hear what you guys are talking about. Maybe I should step aside as well.
I'm not easily swayed, but what you've just said to me makes a lot of sense. It's probably the smartest thing I've heard, no offense, ladies, in this room. I think it is time for you and I to step aside
Right.
for the duration of 2 human baby pregnancies.
Well, okay, I don't know. I guess it was pretty clever, I suppose, how that worked out.
I got to say, these guys, the patience of a saint.
What?
This guy, this Peter and this boss.
Didn't
the
you hear
fact
what
that
was
they-
going on there? I mean, it was you basically ripping their ideas off.
This was conflict resolution is what this was, Rory. When
by
you're in a
quitting?
boardroom and you see that somebody is saying something negative and you
Are
diffuse
you giving
the
this
situation.
guy? You're trying so hard.
I'm giving this
to
guy an
give this guy
attaboy. Hell
credit.
yes. Fuck yes. Are you kidding? Have
I
you
just
ever
think-
run a meeting?
I mean, I've tried to run these meetings here as well as
fuck.
they
You
can
know
be
what?
run.
This whole thing's a fucking setup. From the minute I got the email.
What?
You fucking called me doctor again in the email, Rory. You think that's you want me to believe that's a fucking typo? Fuck you, Rory.
That was weeks
Fuck
ago.
you.
You're
Good luck.
holding. Where are you
know what?
going?
You could do this on your own.
We're not
right,
done.
Rory?
I've just-
Fuck you, fucking dickhead.
I guess that's the end of the episode, folks. Well, thanks for listening. As always, we'd like to thank our sponsors today. Today, we're actually thanking the Institute for Corporate Growth and its affiliated charities in conjunction with McKinsey Consulting and the Government of Malta, as well as Mr. Johnson and the entire line of Mr. Johnson products available at your local post office. Still there. Okay. How do you turn this off?
Mr. Johnson would like to thank all our participating consultants: Kevin Dorff, Dwayne Colbert, Daniel Antonucci, Robert Janis, Megan Grano, Matthew Craig, Molly Erdman, Francis Collier, and Eddie Furman, but not Rory McBain. Fuck that guy.
Mr. Johnson's family products.